Hey guys, and welcome back to another Broken No Game video. Today's video is going to be dedicated to Nightmare EXP and where to farm it. I'm going to show you where is the best place to farm it. But before we start, just note that we are doing a giveaway. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and you can do that via the links that I'm going to drop into the description and in the comments to enter the giveaway for a Google Play gift card or an iTunes gift card. I'm going to be giving it to 2 people, so it's going to be a $25 gift card. Hopefully it goes to 2 random people based off of the generator from gleam.io, and let's get to the video. So the most important part that you are going to be doing, you're going to go into story. And before I start, just note that this can be done by beginners and it can be done by technically, more hardcore players. So the places that you are going to farm, you're going to select an act. You're going to active impulse, which is, the first act that everyone has access to. You're going to be on impulse normal, and you're going to do Red Riding Hood story, and you're going to 2-10, and you're going to farm this nightmare specifically for EXP. He does have the same ability as a Gulu. It's a decent skill. No, do not farm him for stats. Maybe use him for his abilities. He is kind of here. This is the man that's going to level up your nightmares. This Red Riding Hood werewolf. Is this an efficient way to use your stamina? I don't believe so, but if you want to level up your nightmares to at least level 20, which I'll show you after, it is very worth it in that regard, in my opinion. And I'll show you pretty much how to get there. So let's go back. The other place that you can technically farm, but it's slightly harder, is Snow White's chapter 2-10 on Act 1. This is a much harder nightmare in my opinion. She does have phases. Now, if you're wondering, this is a fantastic nightmare for Kalo, specifically because of this ability. Essentially, if you're down on the count and the opponent has higher combo than you, she will raise your attack. So it's a really decent nightmare, but I don't suggest fighting her just because Snow White's story is, this nightmare in particular, is much harder. Now, you can change it into hard mode, and you unlock hard mode by essentially beating Act 1 of Impulse. And I don't suggest it, and I'll post a video of me doing farming for these nightmares. Not all of them, but at least 3 of the nightmare wolves that I got. I will show it. Now, this Snow White nightmare is actually quite difficult to kill at 2-10, and it's much easier to do Red Riding Hood. I can almost auto Red Riding Hoods, and then I manual the nightmare boss at the end. But Snow White's, her stage is very difficult, and it's not easy to auto. And if you're wondering what my gear is, I'm at 100k, right? So it's not it's kicking my butt because it's insanely my gear isn't right, because if you go into the rating, it's going to say you only need 80k rating. And then for Red Riding Hood, I believe it says 80k rating as well. Am I in the right place? No. Just note, they're based off of their elemental thing, and Red Riding Hood is fire. So it is 80k rating, but I mean, this is way easier than this one. And I'll show more details. So let's get to the most important part. You're going to upgrade and sell, you're going to go upgrade in gear, and then you're going to change your base, and then you are going to select the nightmare, right? So for purposes in particular, I'm going to compare an SR nightmare, an S nightmare, and for example, an A rank. You know what, we're not going to upgrade an A rank nightmare because I don't want to entertain that thought right now. So we're going to click Yormi, and I did get him from the event, yeah. So if you click the plus right here, and I'm going to slam the 4 nightmare werewolves, and they give me a grand total of 1 to 24, 6400 EXP. If you're wondering, one nightmare provides 1600 EXP. That is amazing compared to one A rank nightmare, which is 200 EXP. So technically, one S rank nightmare is worth 8 of these bad boys, 8 of these guys. And I suggested farming Act 2, Cinderella 4-2, Chapter 4-2. Now, these guys are okay, but they don't provide that much EXP. This is just not worth it. AP to nightmare EXP ratio is just not good. And I got most of my nightmare drops, surprisingly enough, from normal mode. I did you'll see the video, but I did essentially 15 runs, and that was technically 117 AP, and I got 2 werewolves out of it. Is that okay? Probably not. You could probably be spending your stamina on the near event, but if you want to level your nightmares, I don't think this is a bad thing, and technically you would only need 3. Getting 4 is like icing on the cake, because I believe like getting to level 20 is like the best way. So if you hit OK, it's gonna say it's an S rank nightmare, blah blah blah, it's fine. You're gonna go into details and it's gonna show you how much the stat gain is. So his stats will practically double, which is fantastic. So if I hit OK here and I change the base again and I tap and hold Yormi, by the way, he's a horrible stat stick, don't upgrade him. He's decent like with his ability, but don't upgrade him. He gives a total of 662, so he'll jump to like 1200 if I level him, right? And the nightmares that you should be technically evolving and using right now as a free-to-play is, I highly suggest picking up, if you can, ideally getting 1 disembodied Emil. I'm using him. He's a fantastic nightmare. At level 31, he provides 2118 stats. And if you're wondering, like, does he have to be level 31? No, he can be at level 22 and like provide you like roughly the same stats as Simone, which is around 1800, which is like really fantastic. Like that's like a S rank sword, like max upgraded practically. So like these are like S rank swords. And personally, like if you've max upgraded your weapons, you've max upgraded your armor, and you're just like, I'm not getting enough nightmare tablets, these S rank like nightmare fodder are like the best. And if you're wondering, does the results vary from an SR nightmare? So for example, now I'm going to go to my S nightmare. I'm saying like S and SR like very like differently, and they probably sound the same, I think, actually. So if I level this, and it's at level 22, you know, like level 24 is like icing on the cake, but level 22 is perfectly fine. You saw like my Simone had it, right? If I hit OK, it's going to tell me the thing, don't panic. Hit details, it's going to jump from 220 to 367. His stats don't double, but they go up enough so that you get like a pretty substantial gain. So it'd be like, you know, 100 plus each stat, so or like probably let's round it up to like 150 times 4. Ooh, what is that? 150 times 4 equals like 160, right? So or 600. You get 600 stats. So you get 600 stats in total from this. So if you go back and then you tap and hold, tap and hold machine life form, change base, his stats don't double, but they almost double. So he'll be like around 1400-ish, hopefully. So like that's a pretty decent boost in like power, I would say. That's like an S rank weapon. If you want to see 1-4 comparison, click edit, and then let's tap an S weapon. So it's like roughly around like, ooh, that one's pretty strong, but it's at max level, yeah. Let's click this one. This one's at 2049. So it's not exactly an S rank nightmare, but it's pretty damn close, right? So if you're like, you know, min-maxing your stats and you've upgraded your weapons, you've upgraded your armors, then now you can start farming, you know, nightmare EXP and start leveling up your nightmares with your stamina. But I highly suggest using your stamina to, you know, farm the near event right now, right? But alternatively, if you don't want to farm the near event, now you have a way to level up your nightmares, which is pretty doable in my opinion, because 2-10 on normal, I believe like almost everyone can get to it. Even at the beginning, it might be a little difficult, but eventually you can get there. The rating isn't that difficult for it. So anyways, you know, that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, enter the giveaway, and you know, like, this isn't something where you have to do it, right? This is just something that you can do, and it's a great alternative to essentially min-max yourself as a free-to-play, and it's, you know, very easy entry. You only need 16k rating, so like I believe you can get at least like 20 within playing like, you know, the first 2 to 3 days. It's very doable, so I highly suggest going in there, just leveling up your nightmares. Don't do it in the beginning. Do not do it in the beginning. This is more of like a late game thing, leveling up nightmares, alright? So anyways, I will see you in the next one.